So I enjoy shooting steel as much as anyone else or more. I love hearing the sound of the clang. I'm shooting at 530 yards roughly right here, and I have a Savage Model 10 that I put in an Orcs chassis here, running the new Arkin Gen 2 4 to 16. Really like that in the mill configuration. I have a video coming out on that shortly. But after shooting steel for a while, I really get hungry to shoot paper because I like to see my impacts, I like to see my patterns, I like to gather data. It's just that never gets old to me. And shooting steel, you can really cheat the system. You can hit the left and the right and top and on the bottom, and it all still counts because it sounds the same. But shooting paper really gives you a lot of feedback. Now with the LR3 target camera system, you could shoot at steel and still use the system, the program, the camera. You could collect data on it, and that's great. But I prefer shooting paper, and so actually what you're seeing right here is I'm using the system, and I'm using a tablet, and so I can record myself as I'm gathering data. I can see how I pull the trigger. It's one of the unique features of this program, this target camera, is I can actually record myself as I'm shooting in real time, and so you'll see me pull the trigger, you'll see the delay, and then the hole show up on the paper, which is really cool. And so on this particular day, I was shooting some machine gun ammo, man. I was shooting some 149 grain just FMJs, and I was curious because it's a really fun plinking round, and I've done well enough with it on even smallish size targets. I wanted to see what is the actual pattern here, and I needed to collect some data at closer ranges, believe it or not. I had done so much further out, I really wasn't that sure where I was hitting close. And so after re-zeroing this new optic that I've had on here at 330 yards, I aimed at the number 8 that you can see there, and I was a little high and a little left. So I went ahead on my app here and on my tablet, and the sun is at my back, so normally that makes it kind of hard to see, but look how clearly I could select that. Really cool feature of this app, again guys, is the fact that you can zoom in so close, and I don't have to mess around with a spotting scope. I didn't have to sit and hunt for it through my reticle, and the scope is great. 16 power is enough to see my 308 sized holes at 330 yards, but at 600 yards or at 900 yards, you just can't see those holes. Even with a spotting scope, when you get beyond 600 yards, it's extremely difficult to see holes. And I like shooting on the lighter side of paper. That's why I'm shooting at the number 8 there, is I kind of had a guess that it might be slightly to the left anyways, and I could see my holes really well in this particular day with the sun at my back on my tablet screen. I could zoom in on the app here and get a little feel for how am I pulling that trigger, what's my recoil pattern like. There's just so much data and information that this app allows you to have that other things don't. And so every range trip that I take, I'm making the most of it by coming back with as much data as possible. And so I've been recording a lot more, like temperature and getting into humidity and air density and looking into those things a little bit, because I know that it has an effect. I just haven't taken that much into account in the past. But the further I push it and the more I get into long range, the more I realize that's just the kind of information I need. And so this app and the program is really invaluable because I can also see external factors like how am I pulling the trigger? Do I look comfortable? Does it look like I'm flinching or squinting? Just little things, quirks about yourselves. Being able to record yourself is really quite useful. And then also, if you have a wind flag in the background or something, being able to take that into account has been really useful. I appreciate the measurement tool. Now, I'm not using it in this particular clip because I was only shooting at 330 yards, and I was going to, again, shoot on the other side. I just didn't need to use the measurement tool on this particular time, but it is very useful. One thing to point out about what you're looking at right there, it looks like I'm shooting left-handed in the recording. I'm actually shooting right-handed. It's just reversed. The image is reversed on this particular one. So I know some people are going to wonder, are you shooting that with your weak eye? I'm not. Now, I actually missed this shot right here. I didn't see that there. I don't know if I thought it was a fly or maybe I just didn't see it in the dark black there. That's one thing I've noticed, is it just helps to shoot against a lighter type target, or to have a little shade for your tablet. And I was so exposed with the sun right here, right behind me, that I couldn't make out that one particular hole. And so there's just a realistic factor you may run into, but I figured it was in there somewhere and I would be able to easily spot it later, which is one thing I've had every time. When I go out and shoot and I blow it up and I've been recording myself while I'm shooting, I can tell which shot is in there very quickly. It's just a matter of being in the field and having a little bit of issue there. But then my next shot lands in a place where I can suspect where the other one is going to be nearby, right there, and actually those two are almost touching. So I had a really great experience using this over the last few weeks, and I just want to remind you guys, this thing is so worthwhile. As Black Friday approaches, please do consider this product.